Roger, go for deploy.
All right, Tony Doherty's back on the show.
Start. Hello.
He's back. Welcome back. We're on.
I reckon, I must say, I genuinely think, and I'm not saying this because we're sitting in your office. I do actually say this to all the guests, but I genuinely mean this when I say it. I reckon our first show might have been my favourite, and I reckon it might have got the best reception out of nearly any show I've ever had.
Top 3 for me, for sure.
See, we warned them about this.
It
was a lot of fun, and you guys were fun. I do a lot of podcasts, a lot of interviews, and you guys were a whole lot of fun. And I think your point of difference is great, and I enjoyed it, and obviously spread the word.
Yeah,
and
we
we
appreciate
get some
it,
more
mate.
subscribers for you. But that was a lot of fun, and it's good for me to get out of the gym and bodybuilding scene a little bit and talk about travel and fun and all the other stuff. So I'm glad that it rated well. Thanks, listeners, viewers, and whatever you guys are.
Yeah, they're all idiots.
They're doing a great job, and I'll try and listen in on some more. But time's my enemy right now.
Yeah. So tell us about that, Tony. You're saying you're super busy. What's going on? What's been happening since we saw you last?
What month was it? Can you remember?
I reckon it was about July. I reckon it was mid-year.
It would have been June, July, because I probably started growing my hair just after that, actually. So, yeah.
So that's the point of reference for...
As soon as I stopped, my last haircut was when we had the podcast.
Right.
Well,
There you go.
Very interesting.
There you go.
through no point of yourself.
I don't know what...
I don't want Tony's haircut. I've got to start
I don't know
growing
how to react to that, but since July, so okay, well, so I'd just gotten back, I think, from I'd been in Europe, Africa,
that's
Doing
right.
another Arnold,
South America. Yeah.
Yep.
So after that, I had a hip replacement in July, and another one in November. So thank God you've only got 2 hips, so that's all behind me now. And that was the second one was just 9 weeks ago. So I've just been doing full on rehab for that. And I'm back walking 5Ks every day and loving being fit again. Because it's kind of major operation on your body and to recover from it, all the rest of it.
100%.
Plus, I didn't stop everything else I was doing. So the next trip after that was I went to Las Vegas for the Mr. Olympia, where I worked backstage at the Olympia doing all the interviews and that kind of thing. And then I went to Barcelona for the Arnold Europe. And then I busted out to Prague for a week afterwards just to chill and reset and all that sort of thing, knowing I'd be busy when I got back. Got back from there, and I've had a couple of smaller trips. I was in Korea just before Christmas. That was really it for the travel for the year. So I think it was about 10 trips for the year. So that took up, a lot of time on planes and airports. Oh, I went to Brazil in, that was a funny one. I went to Brazil in, now this is Adventure Fit Radio, so I've got to share with you. Make sure your visas are checked. I'll tell you a quick story. So in November I had to go to Brazil simply for a meeting. And I've got some great friends I was going to meet, and I was going there for a meeting in Sao Paulo. I came up really quick, and it was something our Jim Mannion in the Pro League and Bob Lorimer needed me to do as a representative of the Arnold brand and bodybuilding in general. So I went from here to Sydney, Sydney to Auckland, Auckland to Santiago in Chile, Santiago to Sao Paulo. So it took, including our airport time and all the rest, it took just on 30 hours or 31 hours or something. So I got there, it was evening time, and I thought, this is not so bad. And I had a new passport because my other one was actually full, and you've got to have 2 pages. I thought I won't get caught out with that. So new passport, and had my old Brazilian visa, which was current in my old passport. So I rocked up, and I thought that might be an issue, but I can talk my way through it. Anyway, so I explained that. So it's not a problem. They said, the problem is your visa's expired. I said, no. I said, it says 12-month multiple entry, and it just commenced in April, and I've only been there once. I said, yeah, but you can only stay 90 days. I said, I read that. I said, I was only there for 8 days in April, and now I'm back because it says multiple entry. He said, let me go check. I said, check what? He goes, so, of course, he's gone forever. And all the other people that are standing at the counters getting checks, they've been to the office, they've come back, they've been processed, and all that shit. The longer he's gone, the worse it gets. I looked at there was all these people surrounding me. It was like police, federal guards, it was customs people. I thought, shit, what's going on?
You don't look dodgy at all, Tony, by the way.
It's not like you have tattoos.
But this is the point. It's not, and everyone said, you should have bribed them or you'd look dodgy. It's nothing to do with it. It's the ambiguity. Ambiguity. That's That's what I was looking for. I had his version, but I wanted to look smarter.
Feels so nice, mate.
I said it really fast. I said it correctly. No, I fucked it up.
Is it ambition, mate?
Anyway, so that word, it's ambiguous at best. And anyway, so he comes back from the office and he says, everything's fine. I go, good. Then this other guy follows him, his boss, and he says, you won't be coming to the country. Your visa's expired. So I went through it again. And he said, no. He said, when it says 90 days, he goes, that starts at your first visit, whether you stay or not. I go, but it doesn't say that. It says multiple visits.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we argued just a little bit, and I said, could I speak to your supervisor? So he comes out with two guys with machine guns. And they said, you're not being deported, you're just being refused entry. If you like, you can go now back to... and a big shout out to Land Airlines, they were fantastic. They said, if you can pull this off, we'll fly you back to Santiago in Chile. You can go to the consulate there, get a visa, come back at our expense. We'll fly you business class. We'll put you in a hotel. Yeah. Whatever it takes, we're good. Well, thank you very much. So they put me into a transit hotel in the airport. They actually have one inside the thing so you don't clear customs. You can't leave the airport. But at least it was a bed.
That's all right.
And I couldn't sleep, of course. And my friends are waiting there to pick me up at the airport. My Arnold business partner's there. And I had meetings the next day in Sao Paulo. People have flown in from 4 different states for these meetings. So I feel like I'm letting everyone down. I'm devastated. So then I Googled it as I couldn't sleep to work out the possibility of an Australian getting an emergency visa in Santiago in Chile. I said the best case scenario, I read all night, that anyone had was you've got to hand your passport in. They only do 15 a day. There's no express service. Minimum wait, best case scenario is 10 days. And you hand your passport in. So, I mean, you guys expect me to sit in a hotel for 10 days in Chile hoping that this comes off, but it might take longer. I said, I'm out of here. So I went to the airline and said, can you just get me on the next flight home? So I didn't even leave the airport in Santiago.
That's brutal.
Brutal. So long story short, I left here Tuesday morning at like 8 and got back Thursday night at 11. So, but whatever it was 63 hours in planes, airports, transit, without leaving an airport or a plane, 63 fucking hours. Yeah. So,
so you've been well, mate.
So that was something that you wouldn't wish upon anyone. But, you know, my friend said, you must be mad. How do you deal with it? And I'll tell you how you deal with it. You pretend it's happened to one of your mates because you just laugh like shit. So I just thought, well, if it was one of my mates, I'd call him Visa for the rest of his life. I just had a laugh about it, watched some movies and, drank a bunch of wine on the plane on the way home. And so, you can't change it. Sometimes.
What do you do?
But that was the most brutal trip of the year. And I was so looking forward to it because I love Brazil. But anyway, that was that. And that was my year. And it came around so fast. And, we had 5 Arnold Classics in 5 continents last year, plus all the other travel and expos and stuff I did. So that's all I've been doing since I saw you guys. Nothing major. And on the gym front, we've just opening our first license, Doherty's Gym in Perth.
Oh, really?
Great, man.
That's opening in 2 weeks on the 3rd and 4th of February. And
sweet.
That means anyone can use their membership at any of our gyms. And we've come up with now a licensing model. So if you want to be a gym owner, but this kind of gym has to be very specific, and I've knocked back about 10 people because I don't want to water down the brand or change what it is. We found some great partners in Perth, and I think we've got the right guy in Sydney. And then the next step from there will be to go global with it. Because I think every city in the world needs a gym like this. And everywhere I travel, I try and find that home away from home, that kind of real gym for real people. And a lot of big cities don't have one. So from this, we've had inquiries now from all around the world. And I look forward to opening our first one in Los Angeles and maybe across the United States and into Europe and Asia. And who knows? But this is the next, I guess... dream phase that I'm going through.
So when you say people tried to water it down or something, so partners came to you and they wanted to change what you think. So how do they want to change it though?
Oh, do you think we should have group fitness or we need to put child minding in, all this stuff? And I go, no, that's not what we do. But there's all these other franchises and brands that love that shit.
Yeah.
Just work with them. Or they'll come and think, this is a great way to, do telemarketing, sell so many memberships and this whole philosophy of the fitness industry is to sign up more people than you can handle that won't train because you couldn't fit them all in and just hope to hell they don't come. Our model is to have members that use their membership every single day and make it their home, And so when people, I think it's just driven by money, it's not going to work out because it might take 2, 3, 4, 5 years for you to really make a wage. But what we have is a great lifestyle and being part of something great. So then you just got to weed out the people that, because I don't want to have a headache with anyone where I've got to then get nuts on them. So I prefer to just be very cautious and slow and to knock back a bunch of people to find the right people. And when you do, you click and you say, guys, this is what the brand is. And otherwise, why have you come to me? Because there's a bunch of franchises out there that'll take a percentage of your money and they'll teach you how to sell to people that don't want memberships and all
Hundreds
that.
of them.
So what we're selling is a lifestyle. And it's like if you want to buy yourself the ultimate lifestyle where you look forward to getting up and going to work every day and it keeps you awake at night and you think about it in the morning, then I've got something for you. But if you just think this is just about, revenue and profit and loss sheets and statements, sorry, it's not going to work out because it's not how I think.
Yeah, and it just doesn't really... Yeah, you're right. You get a whole bunch of people signed up. Not that I've ever opened a gym before, but like a whole bunch of people signed up that always talk about like them hating the fact they're going to the gym. It's like, it should be your fucking happy place. It should be your hour of the day where it's like, I get to see all my mates, hang out,
that's right.
get a bit fitter, get a bit happier.
Well, one of the things we've talked and touched about, you guys want to talk about, was mental health, particularly for guys. And I preach it all the time, but I think the thing that people ignore or don't recognise with fitness is what it does for you mentally. We all know what it does for you physically. Obviously, it keeps you fit and healthy, and it's great for anti-aging and to injury prevention, all those sort of things.
Yeah.
But for guys particularly, you need some time to yourself, whether you play golf or ride a motorcycle or walk in the park or swim, whatever. But for some people, it's lifting weights and punching a bag and that sort of thing. And without it, you're kind of screwed because this is your release. This is how you cope with your family life or perhaps a job that you don't like or a boss that rides you too hard when you're working. Everyone's got something going on. It might be a breakdown in their life or a mental breakdown. It might be depression. It might be a number of things that exercise is the greatest cure. So I'm a big preacher for that, to say that it's not just about how you look. Obviously, that's a great side effect and benefit, and everyone likes feeling good. And I think if you're not feeling good about yourself and you lose a few pounds and you get a bit buff, you feel great about yourself, and then you get confidence. And with confidence, you can do anything. But beyond that, the importance of having a coping mechanism, somewhere where you can just get like an hour a day to yourself just to clear your head and think. I think the fitness industry has lost touch with the importance of that. So I just want to encourage anyone out there that's doing it hard, perhaps, start with exercise. It sounds corny coming from me, but really it's the answer. Yeah. Just make it habit and do something every day. And I don't care if you're obese, overweight, and say, I can't go to the gym. Well, you can come later, but gyms are open for fat people. A lot of big people think, I'm not going to go to the gym, everyone's fit. No. Half of them are fat, and that's why they come to the gym.
Yeah,
you've just got some issues with confidence.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean that there's not going to be other people like you there. In fact, you'll make lifetime friendships because somebody else is on the same journey, or find a training partner, whatever. But if you're not ready to do that with your man, woman, older person, younger person, you're not feeling good about yourself, just start with a walk around the block. And then the next day or after 2 or 3 days, do 1.5 blocks. So start with 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, and just build it up, because it's got to be daily. It's got to be something that becomes a habit. And I think we talked about it last time, that habits are habit forming. Not good ones, not bad ones. So whether it's smoking or gambling or doing drugs or doing something that's good for you, your brain doesn't know the difference between a good habit and a bad habit. It just becomes habit.
Yeah, that's right.
So you got to put those good things in place. It's okay. It has to be something I do every day. And statistics have shown when you do something every day for 50 to 60 days, you can't not do it. So it's really, really simple. It's actual simple maths.
Yeah, that's right.
Get up and do something. And might sound crazy. Just try it. Just get up and do something every day. Walk around the block, hit a ball, go to the gym, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just do something for yourself every day. And for me, it's mornings, because then you set your mind up for the day ahead, and you clear your mind and you get rid of all the...
You've already won the day that way as well.
Yeah,
Because the day catches up on you otherwise, and by the afternoon you got no time and you miss all that shit you were supposed to...
Well, either that or you say,
would
well, I
like
have to do it anyway, and then at night you kind of hold back, I think, on the rest of your day, trying to keep something in the tank to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Whereas when you do it in the morning, that's all done. You can just kill it all day long and then just pass out. So, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, for me, that's what works.
I'll tell you what's another good point to the whole mental health thing, and it touches on your hesitance to let anyone be a Doherty's franchise or a licensee or however you say it. I think the big thing is community as well. Because for me, like obviously the exercise that you get, confidence that you get, endorphins that you get from, working out and what have you are a huge benefit. But for me, it's a community thing as well. So here, like you say, I haven't ever trained at a Doherty's gym, but the way that you speak of it, the way that it's set up, it's supposed to be a family, right? A community, a home away from home. And this is just, when I was having a shit run last year, about a year ago, I moved further away from my weightlifting club, and it was now too far for me to put the time in to go there. This business was I was already nearly too far, and I moved further away. So I'm like, right, I got to find a new place to train. I had a bit of time off. I was working from home in this new house, and I also didn't have a gym. And I didn't really... Training wasn't at the top of my mind, but I was like, I need to fucking just go to the gym to hang out with people. You know what I mean? To be around people as a second home, you know? And then... So I trained at PTC in South Melbourne, like the powerlifting gym.
Yep.
And it's great. It's my happy place. My gyms have always been my happy place, you know? Oakley Phoenix Weightlifting Club was my happy place. And then unfortunately I just couldn't keep training there. And then now PTC is my happy place. The place that I know... I can tell the difference from when I go from the office, if I'm... just getting hammered and my mind's always on and I'm so stressed and I'm feeling like I'm just drowning in work or whatever, I'll walk into the gym and I'll literally go, oh, fuck, this is great. You know, I feel that relaxed, you know, I feel happy. I'm around my mates. It's just light-hearted banter and a bit of training and whatever. And, you know, I think for me, that's as a bigger part of it as the actual exercise, I reckon.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think you're right.
Yeah.
And also you're finding like-minded people.
Yeah.
So if you go to a bar, you find people that drink. If you go to a casino, you find people that gamble. If that's where your head's at, fine, but it's not going to help you with your self-worth stuff. But if you go to a gym, you find people that are either fighting a battle, getting fit, have been unfit, or whatever. Everyone's got a shared journey. And mornings are a great time to hang shit on people. Like, as long as I've had gyms, mornings have always been one of those things where everybody's fair game.
Yeah.
You know,
It's true,
and someone comes a little bit slower, a little bit sleepier than everyone else. Or if, for example, there's 2 or 3 guys or girls that train together and one of them's running late, then it's not only their 2 friends that put shit on them, it's everybody. And, you know,
this is what we want to Doherty's gym.
Look, it's a great thing in the morning where you can throw a stretching mat at someone. I know we live in a world of political correctness and you can't throw dumbbells anymore, but for the most part...
Could you ever throw dumbbells?
I mean, back in the day, you could just fight people, you know.
Welcome to my world. But seriously, you can hang a lot of shit in the morning, and it's good for people. It
Shocks them into their day.
It's cleansing.
I believe, absolutely. It's good to just I try to not surround myself with people that can't take a bit as well, because I give a lot of shit out, but I try to pride myself on being able to cop a lot as well, you know. And I think it's just so important just for your ego. Maybe it's an Australian thing, but it's just something where it's just we're all the same here.
It's very much
we've
an
all got
Australian thing.
strengths and weaknesses.
Look, our gyms have always been like Switzerland. Like, you leave your bag at the door. It doesn't matter whether you're a magistrate or a crook or somewhere in between or unemployed or a billionaire, and we've got all those people. And but no one knows, because when you're in your sweats and your cap, you got your headphones on or whatever, you just, bill at the gym. You're not, and a lot of people don't know each other's backgrounds, and it's an amazing thing. I guess it's like a little bit like going to the footy, where you don't know if the bloke next to you is also a supporter of your club. You don't know if he's a billionaire or broke or a nut job.
Likes a meat pie.
Likes screaming, yelling at the footy or whatever it is, beer, or whether he takes his chicken to the footy. It doesn't matter. The thing is, he loves his sport and the experience. Well, some people take their meals.
Yeah, I'm with you.
What I'm getting at is not everyone eats pies.
Chicken pies.
I'm thinking I'm like,
See, this is a perfect example of Bill's in the morning phase right now. Let's hang shit on.
They banned taking pets to the footy a while ago.
Especially chickens, mate.
It was when they let the pig go with Tony Lockett. Remember that? The plugger, and they put the number 4 in the back of the oinker. Let it rip. I think after that there was no chickens or wildlife in general at the footy. But
wildlife.
This is my
domesticated animals. My point being, where are we going with that?
I don't know.
My point going, that's what it is that you don't know if the person next to you is anybody or nobody. It doesn't matter, because you've got a shared interest. And I think gyms in general like that, but particularly our gyms, where it's a big thing for us to say, look, you don't bust people's balls, and everybody's equal and the rest of it, and I don't care who you are, leave your shit at the door. And we educate our staff, which is also, I guess, a huge point of difference, to understand people. When I say understand, is to be able to read people. So if someone comes in, particularly in the afternoon, someone's had a long day or a shit day or whatever, and they walk in there maybe angry, maybe anxious, maybe frustrated, maybe just boiling over, don't take that, I say this stuff, don't take that personally. It's not about you. You don't know what they've been through to get here. And surely after half an hour or 40 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, you're going to be able to approach that person or see them on the way. They'll be a different person. But everybody's been through something, and I think a lot of gyms, they have a script for their staff. And I've been to some pretty smarmy gyms when I travel, and you see the people coming in, and it's like an upsell. Like there's franchise. I don't need to say their names because I don't give a fuck. But there's franchises out there, even here, that when you go in to have a look around, they say, "Oh, let me get you a membership consultant. And then they want to get your credit card before you can have a look through. And it's just all so much about the sell that they're not proud of their product. And we've got the opposite philosophy. Someone comes in and goes, mate, before you even think about prices or credit card, anything, let's take a look around and see if this is for you. Because if it's not, then you're not going to be happy here.
Yeah.
Or if you're looking for something that we don't offer, we can send you... For example, people come in here looking for group fitness. So look, we don't have it. We've got all this cardio equipment, we've got boxing, this and that. But if you're really after step, whatever it's called, then there's a place around
Step
the corner.
chicken.
Whatever it is, and we draw them a map.
Yeah.
We
I know what
don't
you're
try
talking
and
about.
we don't try and talk them into something they want. Anyway, point being that when people come in, we try and educate the staff just to leave them the hell alone. Because some people, the last thing they want is someone saying, oh, you look great, or you've had a great day, or can I get, an upgrade to personal training, or have you tried this latest product, or this is... Just leave them the hell alone. They come to the gym, they pay to come here sometimes just to be left alone and to do what we're talking about, just to get in their zone and clear their head. So that's another difference with our brand, is that we're not doing the upsell. We don't have this policy. In fact, we've never cold called anyone. We've never, if somebody comes in for a look around and it might be crazy, we don't take their phone number and then call them the next day to see if they've had time to make a decision. We're like, we've got a fucking awesome product. Either you like it or you don't. And if you do, I'm sure you won't be able to leave. Yeah. And if you don't, then it's not for you and we don't want you anyway.
Yeah, that's right. I was just going to say that. Yeah.
We've never had to go down that path. And I think that's something people have to understand with our brand, that we're never going to have a script and we're never going to have just sales for the sake of sales, because it doesn't work out for anyone.
I think I just want to play devil's advocate for a sec, because we were speaking about, like I'm exactly like with Bill as well. Like I love coming in and shit talking and bantering. Like, gyms are always places. It's kind of like school for me, where it's like no matter how shit I'm going through, I know that I've always got like my mates around, and it just helps me a little bit.
What's it got to do with school?
So, because when you go to school, year 12, you always know that your mates are going to be there. This is kind of a long-winded analogy there. But
I never made it to school.
Right, okay.
I was a dropout.
Yeah,
it didn't work out for me, so I don't have those memories of...
Yeah. No, it was great, mate.
Remember in year 5? Remember year 5 you played?
I went a bit further than that, but all I want to do was get out of there.
Yeah, right.
That was the opposite.
I had a great fucking...
Yeah,
I had a great experience. Yeah.
But look at you. You both look like... You still look like uni students.
Yeah. I'm still at school, mate.
You probably go and hang around
Mate,
back...
just because we don't have tattoos from fucking head to toe.
You probably go and hang out...
Look, I'm on the way. Give me a chance.
You probably go and hang out at backpackers and tell them you're uni students.
We do, mate.
Well, we were there last night. Follow me on Instagram. No, but what I meant was...
Sorry.
Why you... maybe against is like a strong word, but against like group fitness and stuff, because there's obviously a lot of good with it in terms of like building a community and getting people to train together and build mates and stuff as well. So why don't you offer group fitness at Doherty's?
Oh, because I just think it sucks. It's just not for me. It's just not my world. And I think you've got to stick to your knitting and know what you're good at and do it. And I think if you try and play in that space, once you need a whole lot more area to put, the step boxes. I'm not into it. To put the boxes or the equipment they need for that, and the sound system, and the sprung floor on the stage, and the headsets or spin box, whatever the hell it is. To me, I'd prefer to put more weightlifting equipment or boxing equipment or treadmills in that same space. And purely from a business point of view, as soon as I play in that space, then I'm competing with all the giants and all the leisure centres, and like around here, we've got a great setup around the corner with a pool and all that stuff called Brunswick Baths. I think it's still called that. But they're a YMCA sort of thing, so they get government funding. They get assistance to keep the doors open, so they might want to do a fit out and they can get millions of dollars in funding. And then you've got your big ones, your Virgins and Fitness First, and who else is still in business because they go in and out of business, Good Life and all these kind of places, and that's their space. And I can't compete equally with them because they've got enough in their budget to blow a private operator out of the water if you want to play the same game. So strategically, it'd be very stupid for us to go in and say, okay, we're going to open up next to a big chain gym or in the same suburb as a big chain gym where they're doing $10 a week memberships and offering a lot. We don't pretend to do that.
Yep.
So we don't discount. We have a very fair price, but we never go selling below cost and all this buy one, get one free. Or it's just bullshit. We've never done it. And I think it just gives a huge point of difference where people now know with the Doherty's gym, this is what you get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I see other gyms, and I've seen a couple of gyms have opened up trying to kind of look like this.
Doherty's Gime.
Huh?
Doherty's Gime.
Yeah.
There's one just around the corner, mate.
and they've tried to do this, and then what they do, they become very reactive. And anyone going into business, you've got to know what your brand is and what it means. And by that I mean a lot of people become reactive, and someone will come and say, "Oh, you need to have child minding." So, okay, well, those squat racks that you like, we're going to get rid of them. Sorry, but this lady wanted child minding, so we're going to put this in here and put walls and some padded floors and a slide and some toys. And that's the fashion of the month. Or they say someone else we need spinning. My friend does spinning, it's great. Oh, shit, okay, we'll move all that cardio equipment, we'll cut that in half, we'll build a room, put spinning bikes in. And they're being reactive to what they think people want instead of being true to themselves and what their brand is.
Yeah.
So this is what my brand is. And I think this is why it works, because in every city, if we have a Doherty's gym, people know you're going to get weights, you're going to get cardio equipment, you're going to get a coffee machine and some punching bags. That's it.
Yeah, that's all we need.
So that's why I don't do group fitness. So
you don't want to confuse people, do you? You don't want to stick a candy bar in the fruit bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's that, but it's you can't please all of the people. That's what I mean in business. You make a mistake by being reactive. So, for example, if you've got an Italian restaurant, someone comes in and says, "Oh, you should do paella, or you should do some Spanish stuff on the side," and you react to that, then you're not an Italian restaurant anymore.
Yeah.
You know, if you say, "Oh, we're going to do on the side Mexican food," so what are you? And then you're going to get people who want that Italian experience. You're going to go, "Oh, well, I don't really know what they are. Right. I don't know if it's Mexican or what it is. I'm going to go to a really Italian restaurant." So that's probably a good analogy of why I do what I do, because this is who we are. This is what we do. This is my world. This is what I understand. This is what I do very, very well. And that people love us for. So we don't react. And we do get people come and say, "Oh, have you ever thought about this?" I go, "Yeah, I think about everything."
Yeah.
You know,
that's right.
But my decision is to stick to what we do.
I really like that. I'm only very early on in my business startup stuff, and you guys have been doing it for a lot longer than I have. But already I've noticed there's a lot of people that go, "Oh, like exactly what you're just saying." They go like, "Oh, you should do this," or "Have you thought about doing this and doing this?" And it's like, initially, because I'm just so so new to the whole thing, I was like, "Oh fuck, maybe I should be doing this, or maybe I should be doing that." But then I kind of went down a few avenues, and I was like, "Oh," so I'm doing like the mental health sort of stuff, and I'm obsessed by it, and I love it. And I was kind of like, "Oh, I'll go down this avenue and go to this avenue." And as soon as it was actually my girlfriend that said to me, "Just fucking do why'd you start this?" And I was like, "Oh, well, because I just love the idea of speaking super intricately and honestly about personal experience." And she's like, "Well, why don't you just stick to that shit?" And as soon as that came back, and I stopped all those avenues and then just wanted to go down my own direction, it just feels like in my gut so much better, and I just feel so much more of a bond with what I'm doing, and it's just such an important thing. I mean, why would you start Doherty's gym apart from the fact that it's got Doherty's name on it and that you want to make a gym the way you would love to train at, So it makes perfect sense.
That sums it up.
You need to know
how did it become this? And I said, because I always wanted to build something that I'd want to train at.
Yeah.
And that's how our brand started. This is, in fact, you guys are speaking really well now. I'm going to do a little filming while we do that. Keep talking about that about brand. That's brilliant.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, pretty much just replay it. Like, again, my avenue and what I want to do with my mental health thing is open and honest communication in the mental health realm. And I feel like there's a lot of different things out there, but as soon as I began working down an avenue like that, it just didn't feel like me. And almost like fundamentally on a spiritual basis, it didn't feel the way that I would want to do this thing. And even if it makes no money or anything, it doesn't fucking matter, because the My Mate is Tom Ahern. And I want the My Mate to be Tom Ahern, as much as it's for everyone else as well. I want the basic things of what really relieved my symptoms and just helped me become a better bloke to be the goal of what that's all about, And I feel like that's exactly what Doherty's represents as a gym. We've been mates for 3.5 years now. It's exactly what Adventure Fit...
mates, mate.
Yeah, we're acquaintances. But Adventure Fit, there's Bill Kerr behind it, because there's this thing of like, there's a lot of banter and stuff as well. It's travel the way you want to travel.
Yes. No, that's right.
Yeah.
Hey, Tone, I want to go back to that habit stuff we mentioned earlier. And one thing that I've always been very interested in that you do, so you travel so much, I also travel a lot, and I find it quite difficult to really keep stuff moving forward when you're traveling. Right, so you've got a team behind you. I also have a team, not probably as large as your team, so things don't go backwards. Things stay the same outside looking in, but nothing goes forwards for me. I find it really hard to keep moving things forward. And I'm in the stage where I'm still in the danger zone, so to speak. I'm 3 years in, and we're not out of the danger zone. So how do you, when you're doing all these travels, you're doing 10 trips last year, whatever, you've still got to be the decision maker. How do you get work done when you're traveling so much? What are your routines? What are your habits like? How do you do it?
Well, I guess the first thing is to say that it didn't come overnight. And there was years where I didn't travel at all, where I worked 7 days a week, every single day, and missed out on some amazing opportunities that I wanted to experience. But I knew that if I took that, then not only would I stay still, I'd get hit. And my saying in business is always, if you don't stay still, you don't get hit. And that's why even with this Doherty's gym, we've been open now in this building. It's our 20th, we're about to be 20 years. 1998 we opened in this building. And I think it was over, so anniversary's coming up. And I always said this sort of thing, that this will never end. And people say, you must be happy. I go, I'm happy, but I'm not satisfied. And I'll never be satisfied because there's always upgrading equipment, there's putting more pictures up, there's creating a better atmosphere, there's always something that I can do to evolve. So in the early days, perhaps when I was at your stage with business, I just had to take it on chin. So well, I'd love to travel right now, but my business will not only stagnate, it may go backwards, or I might get hit by someone who does it better. So I've just got to suck it up and say, okay, for now, it's a priority thing. So it's taken many years to get to the front of the plane, and also to be able to travel regularly and to keep things moving forward. So I've set it up now where I'm trying to work 6 months ahead all the time with all the different projects I've got going on. In fact, sometimes when I travel, things do go forward because I get that little bit of solitude on a plane. People hate flying. I love it because it's the only time my phone doesn't ring. I don't have Wi-Fi for the most part, so I'm not distracted. Whether it's like at the moment, because the Arnold's only 8 weeks away today. That I've got messages coming through 24 hours a day on Messenger, Snapchat, WhatsApp, which is huge, particularly with the Americans now. International people love WhatsApp.
Pretty important messages coming through on Snapchat, mate? Or?
Well, sometimes it might be someone making... It might be not so much on it, but it might be someone making contact or saying, I follow you here, how do I get in touch? I'm interested in getting sponsoring an event or becoming an athlete or whatever.
No, the DM,
so I probably don't get
the DM is powerful. I know, I'm just joking.
And then the DM's on.
I just want to know if you got any dick pics through.
I don't get dick. I don't get dick pics. I probably don't put out that energy. Any guys out there that are thinking that they look more susceptible.
Keep pointing your finger that way.
Hang on a second.
To gayness than me.
Is that a technical term?
Well, we're not allowed to say certain things.
Gaysity.
So I just made one up.
He's got a slight touch of gaysity to him.
We can't throw dumbbells around. We can't throw dicks around.
I noticed him before talking about his girlfriend. This might just be a throw-off.
Yeah, that's right. My girlfriend's name is actually Steve. So.
Steve.
Yeah. It's cool.
Anyway,
you're just talking about getting some solitude on planes and travel and stuff.
So I don't have all those. I was saying all the different messages, and then of course Instagram, the DM on that, there's more all the time, and particularly when I do my stories every morning, I might touch. Because I try and do this. I don't know if you guys have been following, but I've been doing like my little motivational stuff in the morning, telling people how to set their day up or how to stay on their diet or how to deal with bullying in their life or how to be their best. And I always come up with some shit just about every day.
Yeah.
And that's growing now. I think I'm getting over 3,000 views on each of those. And then I might get 20 or 30 a day reach out. And sometimes it's a question. Hey, I listened to your thing today, but I don't know which step to take here. And I answer every one that I can. And then and you might get someone who say, which is for me the most rewarding thing. Hey, I was watching this story this morning. I was about to give up on myself. Or, you know what, life wasn't going too good. And now I've found your inspiration. Life's a lot better. I'm in a better place and I'm being a better person. And you always talk to people about just be a good human. Don't judge. Don't put people down. You don't know what people have gone through. And the same analogy with the gym I mentioned earlier, when people come in, you don't know what someone's going through. And it's the same in life. If someone's an arsehole, okay, that might be a reason. It's not always personal. So I get people who tap into that and then they message me back and they say some really nice things. So it's not just business. So having
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
a question? And this is, I think, obviously, me and Tommy are very...
You can ask me anything.
Early days, very early days in what we do and stuff. But with the podcast, with Adventure Fit Travel, do you keep those messages and stuff? Because what I've started to do, which is from a mentor of mine, he told me what he does is he screenshots every piece of praise that he's ever gotten from anyone, and he puts it in a folder. And I've started to do that. And it's fucking awesome to be able to look back because Tommy's in this folder, right? We've got an online folder. It's like just in our communication channel that we use. It's called Slack. We use Slack. It's a program. But we've got a channel called Praise Dump. So somebody messages any channel that we're on or if it's a handwritten thing, we'll take a photo of it and we put in the praise dump, and my whole team see that. And if it's Tommy, if it's a radio thing and it's like, oh, you and Tommy, the conversation you had really changed. So I'll tag Tommy, check this fucking shit out. And the good thing is, like, that's there forever. Like, I can look back on that stuff in 20 years now.
Well, to answer your question, no, I've never done that, but I've learned something from you guys now.
Yeah. That'll be $50, mate.
It's all about the money.
And a WhatsApp image.
And well, the thing is too, look, I don't delete anything, but my thing builds up so much because then I've got emails and I've got texts on top of that. So there's about 7 different ways to get in touch with me. And a lot of people say, well, you have to send me an email. Okay, if it's a contract or something with a person I'm flying and there's some assets at stake, of course I have to get it in something I can trace. But for the most part, when I do my stuff like that, pardon me, you can contact me any way you like. And then I'll channel you the right way if it's not the right thing. And the reason I haven't done all that is I've thought about it a little bit, but I thought about the if but not the how. And how to me was in my photo album right now, there's 30, I think it's just hit 38,000 images.
Yep.
So if I go to look for an image for a story I'm doing or something, it's already overwhelming. And if I screenshot everything as well, oh my God, it'll be... But to set up a folder, I know this is pretty basic stuff.
It's like
I don't actually know how to set up folders.
So we use... Basically what it is we have a communication app called Slack, and it's great for communicating in teams because it's basically like Messenger and email had a baby and they created Slack. You don't have to email within your team. And then, for example...
Right, so our team, I've got WhatsApp groups for all my different companies. Each one's got their own WhatsApp group.
Yep.
And we can all message on that and everyone sees everything and so on.
Yeah, pretty much. So we have we have a channel inside of... We have all our personal chats, and then we have Adventure Bit stuff, so Bali trip, Mexico trip, radio guests, and then we have one that's just called Praise Dump, and then we screenshot and just chuck it in there, and then the whole team see it, and they're like, and it pumps everyone up that little bit.
Yeah, but then you can delete it off your phone. You haven't got to have
it's
10
not
million.
in the phone. Yeah, it's just on the app.
Yeah, and this is where I make a mistake. If I screenshot something, I'm going to go looking for it. So I'll take that on board or start a folder of stuff. Doesn't matter how, but the thing is that to answer your question, I've never ever done that. I forget sometimes, or I'll find an old message. Oh wow, that was nice.
Yeah, it's just a nice feeling.
Especially when you get it to me from a random stranger someone you're probably never going to meet that follows you or really worships your words and this and that, and you've changed their life or empowered them or whatever. And I did a post last night about giving someone a pat on the back might change their day, might change their life. Some people are just getting kicked all the time, and just this one random act of kindness. And even for me, people say, I can't believe you got back to me, because I guess I'm someone to them or in this different realm that I'm in now, and people go, oh, wow, I can't believe this guy got back to me. But, well, I'd appreciate it, and it doesn't take much just
100%.
to text, even just a hi or a smiley face or...
a little love heart thing on the Instagram.
Yeah,
that's great too.
Because it's
but
just
that can be taken the wrong way. That's got me into trouble before.
Yeah, no, I'm just doing it to chicks, you know?
An eggplant emoji.
And hot dudes.
The latest one I do is just, like, if someone says to me something really awesome or some praise, I just do 3 thumbs up. Because one's kind of, okay, that's all I've got for you.
Two's a bit weird,
Two's a bit weird. 3, I found psychologically, 3's quite a statement. It's like, dude, took time out to give me 3 thumbs up.
He triple thumbed me.
And 4's like, Jesus, don't
Yeah,
like,
you can't
relax,
do
man.
that with his. You can't do that in real life. The only way you can do this is virtually.
You know the 1, 2, 3.
So it's overwhelming, all that stuff, and it's great to be able to use. And a lot of people they get a bit messed up. So everybody's always on their phone. They find a negative side to it, and you can see that people are doing stupid things, or they're on, wasting their time and following. In fact, I did a post this week about following shit people that are negative or just gossip all the time, or celebrities that really have nothing to offer for the sake of it. I'm like, okay, that's thieving yourself of time. But if you follow some good people, and I mentioned a few, inspirational people that I follow, not people who are just going to tell you every day that you're awesome, you can do anything. Because not everyone can do everything, not everyone's awesome. But some people who tell you you've got to work your ass off, and people who tell you, listen, there's no easy way out. You're not going to win the lotto, or, I did a thing also a couple of weeks ago about luck. There's no luck. If you're buying a Tats Lotto ticket every week thinking everything's going to be okay when I win, the odds are so bad, so bad, that you're better off to insure yourself for millions to get struck by lightning. Because it's more fun. It's more likely than winning the lotto. And I could go on about that all day. Point being, people need the truth, and you need to follow people who can actually be firm with you and say, hey, don't get off track. You need to work. You need to find out your purpose. We talked about it last time, I think, which is the 3 things I always say that you need is passion, vision and action. And if you're lost and you don't know what you really want to achieve or where you're heading, And I always say, well, find something that's your passion, something you just love doing. And the reason that's important is because it'll keep you up at night, it'll wake you up in the morning with genuine excitement about what you do, and it'll never really work. Where you can have the highest paid job in the world, but maybe you hate it, you hate your life, and that's not healthy. It's not good for your heart, soul, or anything else, let alone your mind. So that's the first part, passion. Next part is vision. To be able to say, okay, now I've got a vision of how I'm going to do this and how it'll work out. And without that vision, you might be delusional. Be like me saying, well, I've got a passion for motor vehicles, so I'm going to invent a new car. Really, I don't know anything about cars, and they've pretty much been invented. And, Elon Musk obviously brought out the first electric car, but beyond that, there's been nothing new or amazing in decades. And I'm not going to read...
Yep, true.
Invisible cars. Sorry, Tony.
Flying cars.
Flying cars, yeah.
There you go.
Flying Doherty cars.
Point being, that's not my realm.
Doherty's car.
I'm not going to be good at it.
Yeah.
And no matter how big I dream, I say people dream bigger, be realistic as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So you've got to find something you understand, that you get, or you can learn that you've got a passion about. But vision means you've got to have a kind of plan. I'm not big on these big 5-year plans, but a plan of how this is going to unfold and why you're going to be good at it, and just something to follow and a mantra every day to be able to get stuck into it, like you guys have done. And then action means, well, don't put it off till next year. Go, oh yeah, but I'm just going to finish this course. No. Work on it every single day. Like even if you're not ready to launch, spend every single waking moment working on it. So if you've got a job, and I get people say, oh, I'd like to do this, but until I can give up my day job, I'm like, how many hours a day do you work? 8. Okay, so there's 16 hours a day.
Right.
You sleep for 6. What do you do for the other 10 hours? Oh, well, I need time to myself. I've got to relax. I go, well, if you work out an hour a day, and you spend an hour or two a day eating, you've still got kind of 6 hours. What are you doing? Watching TV, playing on the internet, following imbeciles, and all this kind of thing. And when you really break it down, everyone's got time. Everyone's got time to work out. Everyone's got time to do this. But if you've got something's really eating away at your mind and you want to do it, you can have a full-time job. I mean, when you talk to the great people and the mentors and the people I've seen successful, they've always had 2 jobs, or they've gone to college at night, or they've studied day and night, or they've studied a 3rd language, or whatever it's taken for them to succeed. They've done it. They've found a way. So you can't just come up with the excuse. You've got to have an action plan.
Definitely.
So passion, vision, action. They're the 3 things you need.
Yeah, I think the passion thing, and then so you talk about action
important.
there. Yeah, you talk about action
So
there.
important.
I think without the first step, the third step's going to be near on impossible. Not impossible, but if you're 40 hours a week doing whatever you do, to do that extra 4 or 5, 6 hours a night, you need to have that passion.
Yep.
You need to have something that you're going to be excited to fucking slave away at, to make happen. Because
But it's not even slaving away.
Yeah, dude, it's impossible without it.
It's living
Yeah,
life.
that's right.
For example, I'm doing this Arnold Sports Festival at the moment. I've got obviously the 6 gyms, a new one opening. I've got some personal stuff I'm doing, as in business-wise, some new companies I'm setting up with my speaking and writing, this sort of stuff. And of course, the Arnold Sports Festival, it's over $2 million this year to put on. It comes from one person. And I never complain or talk about it, carry on. But lately I've been working 18 hours a day. So I wake up between 5 and 6, have a shower, go walk in the morning, do my little workout. But I'm even working while I'm doing that sometimes, answering stuff that comes through overnight. And then I'll finish at about 6 or 7 o'clock, go home, have something to eat, cook my food for the next day, maybe chill for an hour. Then I'm back doing emails until 12 or 1 in the morning. Then I repeat. And for example, this morning, my last message was just after 1, and my first phone call was 5:15. And it was someone calling from America about a contract. They didn't realise the time difference. Then my publicist rang about us getting perhaps the Prime Minister to the event, meeting with a big worldwide global sponsor. All this stuff's happening. Yep. And so that was 3.5, 4 hours sleep. And I'll be tired today, but I'll live and I'll survive. And then tonight I'll try and get my 5 or 6 hours again. And I'll work on weekends, and I'll work 7 days a week. And before the event, I always try to work. I've got this thing, you have to work 100 days straight before an event. Not 7 days, oh, poor me, I've worked the last 2 weekends. Come on, that's normal. If you talk to any successful person, all they do is work.
But it doesn't, even the word work, is socially defined as, this negative thing. But, if you're frothing doing what you're doing, it's not work, man, it's fucking living.
Sure. It should be an in-between word between leisure and work. There should be something.
Excited.
Well, the world's changed because you can be doing both. And I'll be out for dinner, I'll be with friends or whatever, and they say, oh, you're always on your phone. I go, yeah, because I don't stop working, but I'm enjoying your company.
I love it.
I can actually multitask. So I'm listening to your story about when we were younger or this amazing thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just got a contract come through or someone that needs an answer now. Why would I make them wait till tomorrow? It takes 10 seconds. And, my business partner, who's the president of the Arnold Worldwide, Bob Lorimer, He does 90% of his stuff on the phone. So when you said before
That's right.
about how do you go forward when you're travelling, this is the greatest thing ever invented for business, because I've got a hard drive, a computer, I've got access to everything in the world. I've got all my banking, I've got all my online stuff. I've got every single thing I could possibly need right here. And that means I can be talking to my staff, I can do WhatsApp, I can do FaceTime, anywhere in the world, and I can keep things moving. So I think you've got to utilise that more. And I'm a little bit like, I don't know, Rain Man, but I can tell you almost any time zone where it is anywhere in the world right now because it's keyed in that I know when people are awake and when they're asleep. And I'm working at the moment with Europeans, with Americans, with Asians, with South Americans on several different projects. So I know what time it is right now in Germany. I know what time it is right now in Brazil. I know what time it is.
Germany?
It's, what is it here?
Come on, 3, 2, 1.
What time is it here?
It's
11.
Then it's 1 a.m.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Yesterday.
Brazil.
is if it's 11 here, it's 10 p.m. last night.
We've got no way to confirm this, but we'll take your word for it. Yeah, we definitely believe it.
All right, so this is also the best thing invented, and people don't use. I didn't know what time it was. Where you no.
Oh, I've got
your clock on your thing.
Yeah.
So about 1,000.
There you go, Rio 9:55.
Oh, he's done well.
He just wanted to prove it, didn't he?
Yeah,
He just
right.
have you guys noticed this?
Oh, he's done Munich. He's done Munich as well.
12:55.
Hey, mate, I didn't say Munich. I said Germany. Two time zones in Germany, bro.
Well,
no,
Sorry,
I don't even know.
9:56.
That's good.
Very good.
Hey,
That's great.
Tony, I want to, because we didn't talk about this last time you were on the show, and it's pretty interesting to me. So you went from, obviously, gym owner, owning multiple gyms, and now, obviously, you're the promoter of the Arnold. So I'm not actually sure how the Arnold started, and how you got involved, and how did you, because you've gone from, an entrepreneur who, has his hat in a few rings, to now you're all over the place, and where did that happen and how did it happen?
Well, I've always been all over the place. Let's qualify that. No, and I am. I talk to some people sometimes, or people that come into my company and go, God, this guy's like bipolar. He's everywhere. He's doing 10 things at once. That's, I guess, my genius, or my the thing that holds me back. I don't know. But how the Arnold came about was that I've always been a promoter, promoting bodybuilding and fitness shows since I was, I guess, 24 or something, so nearly 30 years. And then I went to the first Arnold Classic. It was just called the Arnold Classic before it became the Sports Festival in 1991 or something. And it was 2 or 3 years old. It was a big bodybuilding show with a few booths and a couple of little sports, but I could see where it was going. And I went back maybe 10 times over the years. But I remember back then I thought one day I'm going to bring this to Australia. Something like this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. So then I started the Australian Pro Bodybuilding in 2001. And right then I had a vision. This is one day going to become a big expo, and maybe one day an Arnold Classic. This is before Arnold ever said he was going to go global. But I thought if ever he does, I want to be the guy. And I always had this dream that one day it'd be his business partner. From when I was a kid, I just knew that I was going to get to know this guy as my idol, but I thought, I'm not just going to stop at that. And, I wanted to have a picture with him, and then I had the picture, of course, back in 91, and then I thought, gee, it'd be good to know one day that if he just knew who I was, or called me by my name, or just said, that's Big Tony, or whatever. And then that, of course, happened, and then to be business partner, I thought it'd be good to smoke a cigar with him or have a drink with him, whatever, and we've done that now in every single continent and become friends and beyond anything I could explain. So go back a step. So when I did the Australian Pro Bodybuilding, everyone said it would fail. And I always talk about this, that all your best ideas, people are going to say they fail. And then, of course, when I put this story online, people go, oh, they're all haters. No, they're not. Just stop with this hater shit. They're generally concerned for you because they don't want you to lose your money or break your heart or do your balls. They think, but it's a conservative thinking. Like my accountant, they always says, don't go by that gym because it's going to be very hard. And I go, well, thanks for your advice. And I've looked over the numbers. This is how I'm going to make it work. You take care of the score and I'll make the runs. And so we do that kind of thing. And back then, everyone said no one can run a bodybuilding show outside of the US, and it's now the third longest running show in the world. In its 17th year, we outlasted everyone. Wow. And then I thought, when the time's right, I'll turn this into an expo. So in 2011, 2011, I started the first FitX which was a thing I invented, which was FitX, Fitness Expo, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that became a little bit of like an Arnold light.
Mm-hmm.
And that year, Arnold he'd finished being governor in 2011. He said, I'm going to take the Arnold Classic now to every continent. So first he did Spain, in Madrid, and then he said the next continent we're going to conquer is Brazil. But Spain was a start-up show, which is always difficult. So he learned a lot from that. He said, when we go to Brazil, let's find the most successful expo that we can partner with and join forces with someone, double the thing with the Arnold name. And he did that. It was an instant success. And when he was down there, he said, okay, he was making a big speech, and someone emailed it to me or texted me the YouTube, whatever, Facebook, I can't remember what it was. And said, Arnold said his next one's Australia. I said, yeah, I've been waiting for this moment. So he said, the next thing we're going to do is Australia. And I said to myself, okay, I've built this FedEx Expo. I want to make it so amazing that I'm his only choice, that he doesn't go to any opposition expo, and he'd know who I am through the sport. And I knew that, you know, my big boss in America, Jim Mannion, had already said, when you go to Australia, you need to work with Tony, and the Lorimers had showed some interest. And I'd put all those pieces of the puzzle together, but I had to make it a no-brainer for Arnold. And people say, oh, you got lucky. I didn't get lucky. I stalked it. I fucking studied it, and I stalked it, and I worked my ass off to put myself in a winning position so that when my opportunity came, not only was I the one wanting to do it, but the one able to do it.
You're the only choice, mate.
The only choice, but also to be able to prove that I was capable of taking this on, because it's his name, his brand. And I was a nobody. I was like a one guy. You know, against there was other expos here that had hundreds of thousands of dollars behind them, which I didn't. So I thought, I've got to work out what makes me just untouchable. So I did that. So I built my brand and my persona and all the work I was doing overseas into being ready for that moment. So when I got the call, of course, I had to go over to Columbus, Ohio to meet with it. Well, first I went to Vegas to meet the preliminary meetings. I went to Columbus, Ohio to the next Arnold to meet the team, and then I had to get up in front of Arnold and make a speech, which I didn't know him at this stage. It was the most nerve-wracking thing in the world, because he's your idol.
That's right.
You know, I've emceed over 100 shows. I've interviewed everybody except him at that stage. I talk for a living. I do these relentless momentum seminars. I can talk in front of big crowds, small crowds, whatever.
Yeah. And
this was just one table from each continent that had to be there to explain why they should be the Arnold partner. And I didn't know I had to make a speech. So I had a new suit and everything on, but I wasn't at all prepared.
No shit.
And Jim Lorimer said, we're going to ask each of the partners from each continent to get up, you know, and tell this story. Oh, God. So my heart's beating out of my chest. I thought, you know, and then and it was, I'll tell you, we'll do this one. It's a funny story. So all the tables from different continents had a table of 10. So there was Africa, there was South America, there was Europe. At that stage, there was Asia. It was a Chinese team were looking at it, and Australia, and then there was the Arnold Columbus team. So there was like these 6 tables set up in this, you know, like a banquet kind of room in this hotel. It was the Hilton in Columbus, Ohio. Anyway. So we go in, and everybody goes to the tables to take their seats, and I'm the only one. I'm on my own. So all the others have got a party of 10, and here's this table with Australia written on it, and 10 knives and knife sets and plates and wine glasses and all this. So I was set on my own.
Yeah.
So
you're wearing a nice suit, though, mate.
Yeah, right. But then Arnold walks in the room. And of course, he's got such a presence. He walks in, he sees me sitting, he goes, what are you doing now on your own? Come and join us at our table. So I went and sat with him at his table. And then Jim Lorimer gets up and says, everyone's going to make a speech. So yeah, I'm sitting next to Arnold. Next thing I have to make this speech. So anyway.
Member for Germany?
I won't tell the speech this time. I'll keep it for another time because I'll be here forever. But I got up and made it was a great speech. And I talked about how, you know, when I was a kid, I saw him on TV and it changed my life. And I just wanted to be like him, not because of his muscles, but because of his charisma, his personality,
that's right.
and his fitness crusade and what he was doing for the world. And I thought, I want to be like this guy. And I remember telling my folks, and it broke their heart because they had this dream for me to go to uni and to be this qualified guy. I go, no, I'm going to drop out of school. And I said when I was 14, I'm going to be a gym owner, a bodybuilder, and a promoter. And I was as clear, and I was very fortunate that I had very clear vision from when I was very young. I never
100%.
wanted to be normal. I was just waiting for someone to show me a path that I never bought what they were selling.
Yep.
You know, and to digress, you know, we had careers teachers would come into the school and they'd sit you down and say, well, look, we've got openings in banks, or you can be an accountant or a school teacher. You come back, you can even work here. I'm like, kill me.
Yeah, fuck that.
Kill me, fuck that.
Yeah.
So when I dropped out of school, I did all this crazy shit. I worked on prawn trawlers and merchant ships, and I did all kinds of security and bodyguard and protection. I went mad for a few years, but knowing that I'd always work for myself. So this has been my life. So anyway, I told this speech to Arnold and Jim and all these teams about how I'd come to be there. And I said, look, I can't make any promises apart from this. I promise I'm going to work 365 days straight. I'll leave no stone unturned, and I'll do everything I can to make this the most amazing startup event you've ever seen. And everyone clapped and cheered and understood it was fantastic. Yeah. And we kind of
That's a very good impersonation. I reckon he's in the room right now, actually.
Everyone can do an Arnold impersonation. So that was sort of when we clicked. And from that moment, we've been, very, very close. And he's taken me in. He's mentored me through good and bad times, through my, business successes and failures, through my marriage breakdown, all this sort of thing. He's been there for me like a true mentor and friend. And I it's surreal sometimes. And, my mates or people are doing the interviews say, well, do you pinch yourself sometimes? I go, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've been at a movie premiere in Shanghai with him, smoking a cigar in some plush hotel, getting waited on hand and foot with all these A-list people around. Yeah. And he's the greatest person you could ever meet. And I hoped that he would be, but he's everything you would want your idol to be. He's polite, he's curious, he's amazingly respectful to everyone, from waiters to, I've seen him sit in the front of an Uber and ask the driver where he's from because he really is interested in this story. Anyway, so that's how I became the Arnold partner, but then I had the pressure to perform. And okay, well, we've chosen you because, one, you know how to run an expo, two, you can pull the money together somehow even though you've got none, and three, you know how to bring sports and competitors and people into it. And every year then I have to perform again, and I'm under this incredible pressure because what he's done in Columbus, Ohio, here and everywhere else in the world, it's a handshake deal. Like, you keep delivering, you're the guy. So that's how it came about. So it wasn't an accident, but it's been huge and hard work. But we're starting to have a few wins because, initially we couldn't get any government support or recognition. We couldn't even get meetings with him when they didn't take us seriously. And what's happening now, it's getting very close to being listed as one of Victoria's major events. If you go to the Visit Victoria website just now for the first time, we're listed as one of the major events.
That's awesome.
And I sent those links to Arnold because he told me to stick at it when I was getting angry and crazy and said, these people, they won't give me money, they don't respect me, or they Google my shit and think I've got a bad past, or anyone can do that. And he goes, it's okay, you just got to outlast them, and governments change and things happen. And he said, why don't we just build this into being so awesome that they can't ignore us? So it always gives me good advice. Guy's so smart and so wise, So I took that advice and we had a breakthrough this year. And also, in partnering with the Royal Children's Hospital, we found out that one of their partners is called, their greatest benefactor is called Run for the Kids. And it's Melbourne's biggest fun run. And it's on, in fact, the same weekend as the Arnold Sports Festival this year, on the Sunday. So I said, I've got to get in front of these people because we found out they've got 30,000 participants. Now, in the Arnold Sports Festival now, we've got 40 sports and we've got 10,000 participants. Biggest one in the world is Columbus, Ohio, with about 22,000 participants across 70 different activations. I thought if we could go to the Run for the Kids and say, could you now be a part of the Arnold Sports Festival? It's still your event, you're raising money for charity, whatever, but you're now under our umbrella as part of the Arnold Sports Festival. Then we'll bring him to start the race and fire the pistol and meet the kids and do a media call and all that sort of thing. So, of course, they were very impressed and they jumped at it. And if you go to their website now, you see Run for the Kids as a partner of the Arnold Sports Festival. You go to the Arnold Sports Festival and Visit Victoria, you'll see that we're all in together. So this has been a major breakthrough. But what that means in real terms is when we have our 10,000 participants and their 30,000 participants, but we've got 40,000 people in some way participating in the Arnold Sports Festival this year, which is, that's... Just think about it. The Olympic Games has 10,000.
Yeah.
Now, we're not all Olympic athletes. In fact, Arnold describes us as the Olympic Games for the non-Olympians, because we're open for everyone. We have world championships with strongman and weightlifting, powerlifting, and, of course, bodybuilding. All of our sports are the world championships. Bigger professional money than anywhere in the world. But we also have all sorts of things from dance sports. We've got like 2,000 people competing in dance competitions.
But they're also not the people you want to reach out and inspire, though, are they? You want to get the people. You want people to see the Arnold Classic, and you want people to go out and get fit, try something for the first time, go out and use their body,
and that's why we got away from Arnold Classic and became Arnold Sports Festival, because it's a celebration of sport. Now we've got the kids part of the expo where kids can come and try. In fact, we've got about 15 different kids sports where they can come and try, futsal and gymnastics and circus juggling and all these different things where they can kick a ball or pick up a bat for the first time. We can fight obesity. We've been now able to get in front of the government and get in front of key decision makers and say, look, we're fighting childhood obesity. We're promoting Arnold's fitness crusade. We want to get people off the couch and off the PlayStations and off the damn phones, which you just see kids are like this all the time. And we want to change their life and give them an opportunity, whether they come from an underprivileged background where the parents are not educated in the benefits of health and fitness, good nutrition, or whether they just haven't tried stuff out because they're obsessed with this, or they're studying too hard and they forget about the importance of this. Anyway, all these things have changed so dramatically and quickly. And people say, oh, it must be easy now to do the Arnold Sports Fest because you've done it before. I go, no, because I keep raising the bar and changing it. So every year gets more challenging because you've got now more hotels to manage, more athletes, more people, more moving parts than ever before. And, of course, and sponsorship's always hard to get. So you're fighting that all the time.
I think it is really, really important to, again, like to not really go over the top about that whole thing we spoke about with passion and everything. But, yeah, I mean, you just wouldn't be doing all of this stuff if you didn't love it so much, you know? And
it'd kill you.
Yeah, and all that stuff about, you know, it's a very cliche word to say, oh, it's always a journey and stuff. But going to the gym every day is a perfect analogy for it, because it's like, if you don't love it, you won't do it every day, you know? And it's, I mean, when people say, oh, how do you get happiness? What makes you happy? And all this sort of stuff. It's like, it's doing what you've been doing every day, you know? And it's like, just to use a personal anecdote for a second, when I used to be obsessed about making AFL, and it was always, and I've spoken about this a few times on the show, but it was always what I perceived AFL would bring me that I thought would make me happy was actually just very much pleasure derived, you know? I thought, once I'm an AFL player, then it would be girls, money, fame, it'd be fucking great, you know? But doing this show, for example, is like, I mean, we started from like next to no, you know, people, you know, but now we get to speak to people like you and get incredibly inspired. I mean, that's fucking great. And you said before, think about 40,000 people. You even think about 100 people. Let's just say 100 people follow you on Instagram, and you line them all up in a row.
Yeah,
I think you told me that.
Yeah.
Put them in a row. Yeah, exactly.
Put 100 people in a room and see
it's
the people
a shit ton of people
that listen to the things that you say, and people that follow you and are inspired by you. And, you know, 100 people in a room, you go, like, I've helped 100 fucking people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking people. You know, and then with the internet, that is one good thing with the phones and with social media and so on and so forth, is like people that are good and are inspiring and are praising the right things, they're getting out to tons of people. The problem is, obviously, like we say, like the people that are spouting useless shit and just and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but you get a choice as to whether you want to listen or watch that stuff.
That's right.
My message to people is, don't waste all your time doing that. If you get a bit of a thrill out of following the Kardashians or something, nothing against them. They've built an amazing brand out of nothing. But that's not going to change your life.
Yeah.
And I think you touched on it before, and I've got to move pretty quick, but I always do this thing when I do my Relentless Momentum seminars. So people think they're going to be happy when? Like when you're listed with an AFL club, you're going to be happy. Or when you got the house on the hill, or when you got the girlfriend, or when you got the Mercedes-Benz, or when you've paid off. I know people who work their ass off. They never go on holidays. They save all their money because they say, when I pay my house off, I'll be happy. Now, when you pay your house off, you'll be old and miserable, and you've missed that opportunity. And people competing, you know, because of the bodybuilding and fitness and bikini shows are such a self-indulgent kind of thing, and they think, oh, when I do this show, I'll be happy. I'm like, no. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the diet. Enjoy the people you meet. Enjoy the discipline you learn. Enjoy the fact that you can get up in the morning and do an hour's cardio 5-7 days a week. Enjoy the process. Otherwise, it's going to be so empty when it's over. But if you enjoy everything you do and the process to get there, it's half the thing. So I love the Arnold Sports Festival. When I'm in that moment, like leading up to it, I wish I had more time. I dread it. I get anxiety. The last week, it does my head in. I think, I wish I wasn't in this spot because it's just so hard to make it happen. But at some point, you go, I don't want, when it starts, about the start of the second day, you go, I don't want this to end. This is my happy place now. All the pieces of the puzzle have come together. But of course, if you didn't enjoy what I'm going through now, working the 18-hour days and affecting people all over the world and giving people opportunities, there's a million things I could say, then you're not going to enjoy that glory at the end.
Yeah.
So you've got to find something you love doing and then enjoy the process. Whether that's AFL football, doing a competition, starting a podcast where you reach people, you've got to enjoy the hard times. People go, oh yeah, I'll be happy, when I'm making money. No, you won't. There's more and I say this in my seminars again, there's more wealthy people in therapy than there is poor people, and it's not because they can afford it. It's because they thought they'd be happy when.
100%.
And they didn't enjoy their career, they didn't enjoy the industry, and they didn't enjoy the fruits when they finally came. They're driving around in whatever, thinking, oh, this will make me happy. And all of a sudden, no, I'm still miserable. With a nice car, I've got a $100,000 watch, but I'm still miserable.
There's a real need to distinguish between pleasure and happiness, and happiness is something that, for me personally, brings about a pure sense of fulfillment and like achievement. And like, oh fuck, I just had this really inspiring chat with Tony. I can call a mate of mine now, or I did this with the podcast. We just went to Iceland, like amazing things, or it's like, I'll be happy when I get a car. It's like, well, this temporarily brings about a huge sense of pleasure and probably gets all the hormones releasing. But again, at the very end of it, I'm right back down to where I was, and I need to keep. That's how addiction brings about. Porn and masturbating gives you pleasure things and like sugary foods
drugs,
and
heroin,
drugs,
all
that
same
stuff.
Momentary.
Yeah, gives you a
Rush.
temporary.
Did you notice he went straight to masturbation?
I thought he was going to say porn, drugs, whatever, but porn, masturbating
Masturbating just gives me happiness.
This is why I was wondering before why you and I are on the camera and he's not.
I'm going to mute everything he says, mate. He's not even in the show.
Because one, he's inappropriate. Two, he's just wore his underwear here today. And now he wants to talk about his masturbation problem.
Let's get
In depth.
let's get into that topic, guys.
You're not jacking up with two hands.
Look, it's definitely a problem. And it's, he looks like one. But
that's right.
The point is, some people are chronic with that. But if it brings them pleasure, that's fine. But as you said, afterwards, maybe things are a little bit empty.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun. But
I was ready to go.
look, I think we've summed up though. You've got to enjoy the process.
Yeah.
All shit aside, you've got to learn to enjoy everything you do, even the hard times. Even people go through all sorts. We've all been through something. I was saying that to someone. I said, it was one of the bodybuilders doing the show told me how hard he was doing it. I said, every single person's doing it hard. You don't know what anyone's going through. Everyone's trying to buy a house, or they've got problems with their relationship, or they don't have the money in the bank they thought they'd have. It doesn't matter. If you're not enjoying the process, this is not for you. And everyone's going through something. And whether you're poor or whether you're wealthy, you're going through something. That's what makes us human. It's tough out there. So I'm going to finish off because I've got to get somewhere. But just want to remind people that there's enough out there for everyone, that it takes nothing to be kind and to give someone a pat on the back or a bit of encouragement. It might be someone who thinks doing it tough, someone who's not doing it tough. You just don't know. And I'm not saying give all your time to time thieves, but give everyone an opportunity. In fact, I put a post up on my Instagram, which is Tony Doherty Oz, OZ, last night about, was comparing me sitting here like this, all tattooed and in an immaculate suit at a press conference, and saying, this is the same person. But if I rock up to this meeting looking like this, I'm going to be treated different. And you should learn not to judge people on how they look or their appearance or their past. It's a good rant, and it had like 2,000 likes already and hundreds of thousands of views and so many comments of people saying, oh, thanks, I needed to hear that because I was starting to doubt myself. So my thing is, don't judge anyone on their appearance. And most of all, if somebody says to you, Bill's no good or Tom's no good, just ignore that and work it out for yourself. Give everybody an opportunity. And if they're no good, they're no good. I'm not saying you associate with people that are negative or no good for you, but I think if you give everyone a chance, just have a little bit of an open door policy, then you attract some great people into your life. And if you've got that shit attitude and you don't give anyone the time of day, you might miss a great opportunity of a great friendship or a great business relationship, or just being able to help someone. So be a good human. This is the most important thing. We're all in this together. We talked. I want to do more on the mental health stuff with you. We touched on it basically, but it takes nothing to be a good human. And people won't remember what you said. They'll remember how you made them feel. So just try it out. There's something in that, and I think no matter how successful you are, be humble. Be real and always give people an opportunity to speak. That's it. I'm out.
All right, that's a great way to finish it off.
Tony, where can people find you? Anything you want to plug before you're off?
Just easy ones. My Instagram, Tony Doherty Oz, or you can follow the Arnold Sports Fest, which is Arnold Sports AU on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. We're Arnold Sports Festival Australia, Doherty's Gym, all the social media. I'm pretty easy to find, guys. whatever. Just probably the easiest way is social media. Just hit me up and follow these guys if you're not already. I'm going to repost this on my channels and keep up the good work, guys. I think you're doing good things. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Love it.
Thanks again for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Bam.
And that's a wrap.
Discovery Roger, go for deploy.